Now, the lesson that we are going to discuss is on the importance and use of recording. This lesson is on the importance and use of recording in social casework. It intends to draw the attention of the learners towards casework recording as an essential tool in the effective practice of social casework. This lesson has also aimed at making the learners realize about the importance of recording so that it enables them to realize on enhancing their skills in recording through focusing on the guidelines of good recording. It also clearly sets out the advantages or usefulness of recording in the practice of social casework. Let's try to understand some of the objectives of this lesson. After the completion of this lesson, the learners should be able to understand social casework recording as an essential tool of social casework. Secondly, realize the importance of recording in casework practice. Third, equip themselves with the qualities of good records. Fourthly, understand the various purposes being served or usefulness of recording in the effectiveness of the method of social casework. So, let's try to understand casework recording as a tool of social casework. Recording has always been an integral part of social work practice, including social casework. Besides, recording has proved to be a valuable tool for social work education. Recording is not just a tool of social casework practice, but is also a key element of ethical professional practice. It is an important and integral part of the social casework procedure and is also an output of the activity of social casework. A social casework record is a writing of the facts and proceedings that takes place during the course of interaction between the social case worker and the client. It is a form of written communication which performs numerous important functions in ensuring that the worker offers effective and efficient service to those in need of help. A social casework record is a written account of the social casework proceedings, that is, noting down the account of facts or sequence of activities and events. Recording should be done regularly as a case moves. It should be done immediately after an interview as far as possible so that the worker is able to retain the exact information shared by the clients. Also, note taking during the course of an interview might distract the clients and create an impression in their mind that the worker is preoccupied and that they are not getting the attention of the caseworker. Thus, it may hamper the participation of the clients in the casework process and affect the client-worker relationship. Now, let's look at the importance of recording. The casework record is very important for the effective practice of social casework. It is also important in ensuring that the profession of social work and particularly the practice of social casework method stands as an important service to the clients in providing them with effective interventions and treatment. Some of the importance of recording in social casework has been enumerated as: first, it is certainly not possible for the social caseworker to retain in mind all the information and details about each of the clients. Therefore, case records becomes the storehouse of information about the clients and the progress of the casework process. Second, case records provide an ongoing picture of the nature of social work involvement with the client, progress in achieving social work goals and outcomes. Third, individual case records are used in planning, implementing and evaluating services to each client. Writing becomes necessary for formulating the social assessment, diagnosis and plans of treatment for each and every case. Fourth, the case records serve as an important document on which basis the accountability to the client, to the organization and to the profession stands. Fifth, the quality and quantity of services being provided could be assessed by reviewing the written records that present a clear picture of the activities undertaken and services being provided by the caseworker. Sixth, putting down the events and related aspects in written form helps the social workers in evaluating their own work and contribution. Seventh, aggregated records are used in planning, monitoring and evaluating services to a group of clients. Eighth, it identifies the areas of strength and weakness where the staff of the organization need to be provided in-service training to upgrade or refresh their skills. Now with this, let's move on to understanding some of the guidelines for good recording. Since recording serves as an important and essential tool for social casework practice, as it reflects the very effectiveness or lack of effectiveness of the social casework practice, the social worker, while writing records, should follow some guidelines. Good reports are part of the standard of care and service to the clients. Observing certain basic norms while recording also enables the social workers to claim for professional competence and ethical integrity. Records are flexible. There are different types of records maintained by social workers for different purposes. However, there are certain standards that must be maintained by any type of record, and the essential components of a good record are: the first one is that records should focus on the parameters of accuracy, objectivity, simplicity, clarity and brevity. Second, the contents of the records must be arranged in order. The flow and connectivity in the contents and idea must be clearly presented. This is possible only when the social worker has already thought out in advance what should be included and then has set out the material in a logical and sequential flow. Third, records should neither be too long nor too short. It should clearly state to the readers about the information which are necessary and required for the case. Fourth, to maintain clarity in the records, the contents should be arranged under different headings and subheadings based on the relevance of the information, such as interviews, home visits, contact with collaterals, etc., and should be filed in appropriate places such as letters, medical reports, school records, etc. Fifth one, the casework should also draw a line of separation between the information collected, the observation made by the worker, and the assessment and diagnosis drawn of the worker. Facts and their interpretation should be clearly distinguished. Inferences drawn should be in an impartial manner and should not attempt to influence the readers. Sixth, whenever possible, reactions of the clients should be recorded in their own words. Seventh, a casework record is not a literary piece, and therefore simplicity must be observed in the use of words and styles. Jargons should be avoided. Eighth, records should avoid use of vague and ambiguous words which are likely to be misinterpreted by the readers. For example, words such as middle-aged, perhaps, etc. Ninth, the record should contain the necessary details of every significant and related subjects and situations. Tenth, it should be clear as to who are involved in the situation, which is addressing to whom, and what are the sources of this information. 11th, one should not record the self-evident or the insignificant, the familiar and the repetitive. 12th, any records should show clearly the nature of the problem presented or the request made, what the worker thinks about the situation, what the worker and the client know about it, what relevant family, group and community factors are involved, and what are the changes or movement of the outcomes are. 13th, whatever is recorded should be evidence based and should be ethical. 14th, the record should include the decisions taken during the process with proper judgments of those decisions. In the 15th point, records should clearly depict a picture of the care and support given in accordance to the decisions made or the plan of actions laid down towards solving the problem of the client. 16th, along with the accurate and proper recording of the data, it is also essential that the records are preserved properly and privacy and security is ensured while maintaining the records. Physical security of the record is of paramount importance. Now, going further, let's try to understand what are the advantages or what are the usefulness of recording. Recording serves many important and essential purposes in the practice of social casework. The caseworker, while working with many clients, need to know them intimately, and therefore it is essential that casework interviews and details of each client are recorded in a way that recalling the particular details of each of them with their individual differences is possible. The casework record has several benefits. The advantages of recording are: 1. Recording helps in ensuring practice effectiveness. The casework records enable the caseworkers to analytically reflect upon the situation of the client and the measures that has been taken or planned with regard to it. This enables the social worker to improve his or her practice by reflecting upon his or her own abilities, skills and interventions or treatments undertaken and planned. The casework record enables the worker to evaluate his or her effectiveness and efficiency and look for areas for self-improvement. Casework records enable a caseworker in improving their professional skills and abilities. Through reading the progress of the case, the caseworker can further reflect upon it, and it enables for better planning for subsequent interviews. The records enable the worker to refresh his or her memory about the details of the client and of what happened in the previous session, especially in situations where the cases stretch for too long and the worker may lose the track of details. This information is necessary for planning for the subsequent interviews and getting oneself prepared for the upcoming session. Records are also useful for organizing and structuring of information. It also aids in orderly thinking, as a case worker presents the information collected in an organized and structured manner. Analysis and ethical thinking becomes easier and possible. Thus, it aids in the diagnosis and treatment. Proper records can also help new workers in gaining understanding about the case. It also guides them about their conduct by enabling them to learn from the work of other workers and also correct or not to repeat the mistakes done in the past by the other worker. Secondly, records helps in ensuring effectiveness in administration. Records also serve as an important tool of administration. They provide the data necessary for reviewing periodically the work of the agency, from the perspectives of quality and quantity of service. They serve as a point of reference for making necessary changes and corrections in the prevailing policies and practices of the organization. From the contents of the casework records, the administrator of the agency is able to find out how, where, and in what the social worker's professional time is being spent. This helps in reviewing the effectiveness of the work of the agency. Records also gives an insight into the caseworker's efficiency. These helps in the evaluation of the work and contribution of the caseworker. This further enables the administration in terms of appraisals. Further, in times where the caseworker is being transferred or resigns from the agency, it is the casework record which ensures and enables the continuity of service to the client. Also, records serve great purpose when the client is being referred from one agency to another for specialized services, as they ensure continuity. Further, records also pave the platform for sharing of information between the agencies. Learnings generated from the case records can serve as a body of knowledge to be shared among the professional community. The third utility of recording is that records serve as a tool in teaching and supervision. Records aid in teaching and supervision in that they add to the existing body of knowledge of social work and make this knowledge communicable. Through maintaining proper records, the students are able to organize their thoughts and information. It also enables them to present their observations, information collected, actions taken, or plan of actions, and their reflections in a systematic and organized manner. It enables the students to reflect upon their own role and reactions in an interaction with the client. Recordings also serves as a tool for supervision and evaluation, whereby a teacher can encourage the students to analyze and interpret data, expressing their individuality through it. Supervision encourages the students to improve their skills in writing and recording, organizing and presenting, and to do better casework. It is an effective tool in training the students to enhance their skills in practice, as well as in maintaining records of their practice, adding to their accountability, efficiency, and effectiveness. Fourth, records serves as an aid to research. Records can be used for research and planning, as they act as a chief source of material for the quality of present practice, the extent and span of services provided, effectiveness of the treatment, and so on. The casework record basically serves as an instrument for evaluating the effectiveness of social casework as a social work method and in addressing the problems and needs of the clients and their families. Such information is valuable for research and planning for any changes required at the policy level, to address common problems among individuals at the larger macro level, or in the way of the functioning of the agencies and dealings with the clients and their families. Records contain accumulated experiences of social workers which can be transferred into statistical form and thereby help in finding solutions to social problems. Case records with adequate substantiative content becomes valuable resources for research in social work, which is essential for the growth of the profession and the practice of social casework as a method of social work profession. They also become valuable documents in policy planning of the agency and of social welfare services. Let's summarize this chapter. Recording is an essential tool in the effective practice of social casework. It serves many important functions in the method of social casework. Through recording, it enables the caseworker in retaining information about the clients. It is essential for formulating the assessment and plans of action required for the case. It also helps in enabling the social worker to evaluate themselves in terms of their skills and effectiveness, and gives further scope for professional growth among them. Recording also serves as an instrument in the administration of social work agencies. It also serves its purpose in teaching and supervision and in research.